Well, when we think of cloud, it's all about identity and authentication. If we're going to move things around, or the customer's going to move things around, you got to know who you're moving it to, and then on the basis of that, they got to be able to prove who they are. So we see identification and authentication as being an absolutely core piece of this, and whether it uses cryptography or some other mechanism, the stronger it is, the more trust you can have. So we think of it as a trusted cloud fabric. I mean, that's kind of our buzzword. So we want to be able to provide the capability to do strong authentication. And for instance, for the DoD, we have a card now called the SC650, sort of a plug for SafeNet, but it has been approved for use for logon on SIPRnet. And it has, in addition to having a traditional single credential, we were already thinking interoperability, sharing data. So we actually have the capability to store 4 separate credentials on that card that could offer some interim ways for people now to cross-communicate without having to physically move data between places. And maybe in the long run, it could be a common credentialing thing for things to share data through the cloud, for cybersecurity, for warnings, threats, law enforcement, all the way to top and bottom. So big area for us. The second area of society is trusted cloud fabric. We are really using key management and encryption as the focal point for giving the customer control. We're doing that because obviously we're a security company, but we think it's the right way to do it. It is the one common element where you can have standards, you can have a common way to encrypt stuff, you can have a common way to manage keys in that, and you can have a common way to distribute those keys if you have a really good identification authentication mechanism in place. So that's where we're really investing. We have been doing that. We also think that if you invest in these kinds of strategies today in your traditional data center, it actually will help you move to the cloud.
There you go.
So if you had this, if you didn't have this in place before, jumping to the cloud could be really hard. So we think we're well positioned now to help customers who can't afford to move immediately for a lot of the legacy stuff. If they could adapt some of the stuff, it's kind of like being cloud ready for the trusted cloud fabric. So
I like that, cloud.